Hi viewers, back on Public Demand. This is Rajiv Williams. I am here to talk about a topic that is currently in the media today, in social and print media. It's about Telugu NRIs dumping the Hyderabad investments as an option and choosing to invest in Texas, I think, Dallas and Austin. That's what I read. And that has driven a kind of speculation within the audience here that people are not looking at Hyderabad anymore, and Hyderabad has become expensive. Let's invest in our own land. This is probably for those who have green cards and those who are citizens, right? That segment, because you guys have been there for like what, 2 3 generations and have created wealth and settled reasonably well for yourself. So from the era of Indians making money there and sending it back home to buying lands and amassing wealth here, of course there's heavy taxation for it, right? So now people have come to the understanding that అక్కడ కొనడం కన్నా ఇక్కడ కూడా ట్రై చేయొచ్చు కదా, బికాస్ మేము ఇండియాకి వెళ్ళాము మళ్ళీ తిరిగి మా బేస్ ఇక్కడే, అక్కడ ఉన్న ప్రాపర్టీస్ కూడా అమ్మి. ఐ వర్క్ విత్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఎన్ఆర్ఐస్, సో most of the time the NRIs, they say like, Rajiv Garu, we are not planning on coming back. We want to sell our properties and we'll probably take it back. And there's a huge cut, the exchange, 30%, 40% taxations. So here I am trying to decipher this. See, of course, Hyderabad is not just west of Hyderabad, right? Because part of the article also said that there are acres worth 40 crores, 50 crores, and the recent auction in Neopolis has taken Hyderabad to 100 crores. And of course, you have your speculators who are like, this is driven, people have agendas, realtors, brokers, consultants, manipulating the market, and everyone has their own opinions. The reality of the fact is, understand one thing: land is not manufactured by you and me. Land is available. You develop it. You like these video games that you have, you create a field, you have farmers, you then have a well, then you have homes for those farmers to go work in. You build this ecosystem, right? The workers go, you have these point system, they do some work, they earn those points, they go. So it's pretty much like a video game, right? Or rather, should I say, the video game has evolved from life. Where there is employment, there you have people working. There is skill exchange, there's value exchange, and that value is then invested in lifestyle, in earning assets, and all of this basically then translates into a mere understanding of demand and supply. Right? You have people who are the below 30s, the millennials, the baby boomers, and now we are all talking of Gen Z. I think 50% of our population back here in India is below the age of 30, 35, 40. And, we are talking of NRIs who've been there for 2 to 3 generations. So if someone is able to afford those land banks, and I've heard that, even those land banks are like 30 to 40 miles away from the city. So it's basically the same language which I had mentioned in my previous video. It is between outer ring road to regional ring road in Hyderabad. Now the NRIs are targeting the suburbs of 30-40 miles away from central Dallas and Austin. So it's pretty much the same. And also, the climate is the same, right? I think it's slightly tropical, and many of the global headquarters are also placed there. I think Tesla's global headquarters is there, and Toyota I think is also there. Texas Instruments, Samsung, Dell, and this is all in the newspaper what I read. It's not my manifestation. My understanding is that yes, of course, those who do not wish to move back here would eventually want to have their roots established in the land where they have been living over the past 20-30 years. It's not just Texas. I mean, people in Seattle, people in California, people in Jersey. I have friends of mine who own commercial spaces there. I have friends who have flats in Florida, Miami, these tourist destinations where you have investments and you have mortgages that are paid out by you leasing out your flats to Airbnb. So these are different revenue models. So if you're able to get lands for 200,000, 500,000, or $700,000, you have the same investments available here also, where the government has these IT parks or industrial parks or manufacturing parks or pharmaceutical zones, manufacturing zones. All these have been established here as well. But I would say, is it an apple to apple comparison? I'd say no. Because if you're looking for buying lands in that uh, volume or pricing, those options are here as well. And for the young generation, who's going there, probably those who are still on their H1s and L1s, Hyderabad or their homeland will always have their calling, because their parents are here, their younger kin, brothers, sisters, their children. So the pull of wanting to have something that you call your own back in the homeland will always prevail. Here we are talking about those people who have lived there for a very long time, who are trying to build their portfolio there, to leave something for their offspring there. So if speculations, so I'll tell you why this started. So I got a call, or I'd say more than a few calls today morning from some NRI clients. And they were like, Rajiv, we have lands here now. All of us are like planning to invest. We are trying to, accumulate our funds. I'm like, great, good on you. But does that mean, the Hyderabad market is not in demand anymore, or there's going to be investments going out? There's no 100 crores per acre across Hyderabad. Probably just one place. I don't think even Jubilee Hills would be valued at that rate today, because nobody would be willing to buy at that rate because of the infrastructure. The reason why Hyderabad today is being looked out for by everyone is because of the infrastructure, the decentralized growth. Even the Minister of Urban Development, KTR Garu, tells everyone, don't just focus on Western Hyderabad. Look east, look north, look south. Pharma City, Tukuguda area, you go towards Amangal, you go, way ahead on that stretch. And pretty much you could still get land at the same value that I'm hearing in this article for $200,000, about what, 4 to 6 crores, 8 crores an acre. Of course. So don't really panic and go helter skelter thinking that, Inka Hyderabad lo evaru double bettatledu, Inka Hyderabad chala expensive అయిపోయింది. So you will always have that. You will always have, a particular area that does better, where NRIs or I'd say MNCs, multinational companies. Adibatla, Maheshwaram, for example, had TCS for so many years. There was just that one, organization that people would, talk about. In fact, in real estate, I've been around for about 14 years in this industry. And for, I think, 10 of those years, Adibatla became synonymous, and TCS became synonymous to Adibatla. It became Adibatla TCS. No, it's Adibatla. And Maheshwaram. Maheshwaram has so many layouts, those were sold back then, which are not developed, which were not established. And now each one of them is going for redevelopment. People are now buying homes, they're buying lands, they're developing, they're constructing. There's more, Wipro R&D has come there now. So, a time of each of these zones comes eventually. And I'd say it's a good idea for those who wish to buy land abroad. And eventually, I think once this NRI group of friends who are wanting to, accumulate land there, I think, I think our politicians are Indian origin. Our global CEOs of top companies are Indian origin. And very soon, I think the real estate fraternity in Dallas and Austin and Seattle, I think even that will be of Indian origin. So very soon, I think I see it as a positive sign that if you are accumulating lands, eventually you will do something out of it, and you'll have 100% Vastu compliant homes now in Austin, and I hope the trend trickles down to other states as well, where people consider as a strong option to buy homes for where they've been placed for several generations now. I'd say it's a good call to save money on the taxation if you want to, send money here. And I believe even citizens cannot own land here. So probably you can do away with that by buying it on someone else's name, or the spouse's name who's not yet on the same visa status as you. So definitely, this is an opportunity of sorts. I support either side of the argument. I'm not for or against anything. Just trying to decipher this for those who wish to understand what this means to the Hyderabad real estate market. I'd say, as SRK says, picture abhi baki hai mere dost. There's lots more for Hyderabad to unfold. I'd say Telangana, because there are so many employment clusters: NIMS, Pharma City, Electronic City, Telangana Mobility Valley, Neopolis. I'd say watch out. Upwards of, I think, 5 lakhs of employment by 25, 26, and then it will go up to around 10, 15, 20 lakhs in the next 10 years. I think we are on a trajectory with autopilot, and I see a lot of optimism. See, any industry goes through marginal contingencies and corrections. No one's immune to it. Elections, pandemic, these are life events that happen sometimes. But the daily course of it is that today, if you have a crore, are you going to let elections stop you? If you've sold a property, and if you suddenly decide that you want to hang on to the cash or the amount of whatever mode it comes, you think you're going to save tax? You think you're going to be that wise jack? I think the system is pretty smartly aligned to understand how to have you pay your taxes and how to have you use your investments. That is the reason I think fixed deposits are not heavily incentivized by the government. I think it's what, 5%, 5.25. I'm talking about India, Hyderabad here. That's what the local prevailing rate is. And pretty much that's where we are heading, where eventually holding on to money and keeping it away from circulation is going to be penalized. I mean, a long time back I heard the Hyderabad government, or I think the Telangana government, was going to come up with something called VLT, vacant land tax, which means that if you continue to have your money locked in lands, and if it's not in circulation, it's not of use to anyone. So if you're having a piece of land and if you're not developing it, or if you're not doing some economic activity on it, you'll be soon penalized for that as well. I mean, I don't call taxation as penalization, but the common man is like, you want to pay 100 rupees including tax, but 111 rupees is something that you don't want to pay, because 11 rupees is something that nobody wants to pay. So it's good that we're all trying to make use of the opportunity at hand. But overall, NRIs are sorted, those who have been there, but also we see a huge influx of FDIs coming in. A majority of the calls that we get are all about young NRIs wanting to invest in areas like Mumbai Highway, Bangalore Highway, Srisailam Highway, Shankarpalli Highway, Warangal Highway, some of them on Vijayawada Highway. So there's lots more to look forward to. And do let us know of your opinion. I've tried to be as open-minded as possible regarding this. I would love to know of your comments on what you think. Do list them down in the comment section. And should you need any advice of any sort, well, we are here. It's not agenda-driven. It's purely to help you guys understand that what the ground reality is here. And this is not a sponsored video, because I didn't use a single name of anyone. So guys, hope that was educating and entertaining. Hope you guys understood what I tried to convey in a very, casual, one-to-one kind of a way. So if ever you need any advice, any guidance, any assistance, you want to talk to someone, you want to bounce off your ideas with someone, I'm definitely available for that. So do check out Rajiv Williams, that's my name. You can also visit my website if you wish, Rajiv Williams, www.com, founder, CEO, Deccan Progressive Realty. And I truly hope to look forward to meeting and talking to some of you to understand how we can collectively help each other through this exchange. Thank you. Cheers.